Imagine two objects meeting briefly, touching for a moment, exchanging something invisible, and then being separated by vast distance, not slowly drifting apart, but violently torn away. One is sent left, the other right. One is placed on Earth, the other carried to the edge of the solar system. Then farther still. Galaxies could rise between them, time could stretch, space could expand, and yet something about them would remain quietly, stubbornly connected. Not connected by a signal, not by a force traveling through space, not by any mechanism we recognize from everyday life. This is the quiet strangeness at the heart of quantum entanglement. At the smallest scales of reality, far below atoms, far below anything we can see, the universe behaves in ways that feel almost poetic, almost impossible. Particles don't act like tiny billiard balls. They don't carry definite properties waiting to be discovered. Instead, they exist in states of possibility. They hold multiple potential outcomes at once, described not as solid facts, but as probabilities. When two particles interact in certain ways, their probabilities become linked, their futures become correlated. They stop being fully describable as independent objects. Instead, they become part of a single quantum system, even after they separate. This linking is called entanglement. It does not mean the particles are communicating. It does not mean information is traveling between them. It means that their properties are no longer independent. To understand this gently, imagine flipping two coins that somehow know about each other. You don't know what either coin will show until you look, but the moment you see one land on heads, you instantly know the other is tails, even if it's on the other side of the universe. You didn't send a message, you didn't influence it, the correlation was already there. In quantum entanglement, reality behaves in a similar way. Except instead of coins, we are dealing with properties like spin, polarization, or orientation. And instead of everyday uncertainty, we are dealing with something deeper. The universe itself not committing to outcomes until interaction occurs. Before measurement, neither particle has a definite state on its own. Only the pair does. This is the part that feels unsettling. We are used to thinking of objects as carrying their properties with them. Color, position, direction, whether we look or not. Quantum physics challenges that intuition. It suggests that at a fundamental level, some properties don't exist in a definite way until they are measured. And when particles are entangled, the measurement of one doesn't just reveal its state, it reveals the shared state of the system. Distance doesn't matter. You can separate entangled particles by meters, kilometers, light years. The correlation remains. Measure one, and the other's outcome is instantly constrained, not because something traveled between them, but because they were never fully separate to begin with. This is why entanglement feels so paradoxical. Our everyday world trains us to believe that separation in space means separation in reality. If two things are far apart, they must be independent. Quantum entanglement quietly violates that assumption. It suggests that separation is not as fundamental as it appears. But here is the grounding point, the one that keeps this from drifting into mysticism or science fiction. Entanglement does not allow faster-than-light communication. You cannot use it to send messages. You cannot control the outcome of a measurement. You cannot decide what result the distant particle will show. All you get is correlation, revealed only after both measurements are compared. The universe protects causality. No paradoxes, no time travel, no cosmic signaling loopholes. And yet, something profound remains. Because correlation without communication still means the universe is doing something unexpected. It means reality, at its deepest level, does not behave like a collection of isolated pieces. It behaves like a coordinated whole. This challenges the idea that particles are tiny independent objects drifting through space like dust. Instead, they behave more like notes in a chord. Distinct, yet defined by their relationship to the whole. Quantum entanglement forces us to rethink what we mean by separate. From a classical perspective, space is what divides things. Distance weakens influence. Interaction fades with separation. But entanglement ignores this intuition completely. Once particles are entangled, their relationship is written into the structure of reality itself, not carried across space, but embedded beneath it. This is why entanglement is often described not as a force, but as a feature of how quantum systems are described. The mathematics doesn't talk about particles independently. It talks about the system as a whole. The universe at this scale seems less interested in individual objects and more interested in patterns of relationship. And this is where the wonder quietly grows. Because if entanglement is not about communication and not about signals, then what is it about? It is about information. Not information as messages or data packets, but information as constraint, information as structure, information as the way possibilities are limited and shaped. Entangled particles share information about their possible states. That shared information doesn't live in space. It lives in the mathematical structure describing the system. When you measure one particle, you don't send information to the other. You update your knowledge of the system. The universe already knows the relationship. You are simply discovering it. This reframing matters. It tells us that entanglement is not a spooky force reaching across space, but a reminder that our usual categories, here and there, near and far, separate and connected, may be approximations that only work at larger scales. Beneath them lies a deeper layer where relationships matter more than locations. At that layer, reality is less like a set of dots on a grid and more like a web, where pulling one strand immediately reshapes the whole pattern, even if nothing visibly moves. This is not mystical language. It is the most honest way to describe what the experiments show. Physicists have tested entanglement relentlessly over decades, with increasing precision, with particles separated by kilometers, then tens of kilometers, then satellites in orbit. Every time the result is the same, the correlations persist. The universe behaves as if distance is irrelevant to the relationship once established, and still no signal travels, no law is broken, which leaves us with a quiet, unsettling conclusion. The universe is not built from isolated parts that later interact. It may be built from relationships first, with parts emerging only when we zoom out. Quantum entanglement doesn't say everything is connected in a vague, comforting way. It says something more precise and more challenging, that at a fundamental level, some systems cannot be fully described by breaking them into independent pieces. They are wholes. And that idea, simple, restrained, experimentally verified, changes how we think about reality itself. Not dramatically, not explosively, but deeply. Because once you accept that connection can exist without communication, that correlation can ignore distance, that separation might be a surface-level illusion, you begin to see the universe less as a scattered collection of things and more as a single process expressing itself locally. Entanglement doesn't tell us what the universe means. It doesn't explain consciousness or destiny or purpose, but it gently removes a boundary we thought was fundamental. And once a boundary disappears, the way we think about everything on either side of it begins to shift. Albert Einstein did not dislike mystery. He spent his life chasing it. He overturned Newton's universe, bent space and time, and revealed that reality itself was more flexible than anyone had imagined. And yet, when quantum entanglement appeared, Einstein felt something unusual, not curiosity, but discomfort, a quiet resistance, a sense that something had gone too far. He famously referred to it as spooky action at a distance, not because it sounded magical, but because it violated something he believed reality must respect. Einstein believed the universe had an underlying order that was local, consistent, and complete. Events should be influenced only by what is nearby. Causes should come before effects. Nothing, absolutely nothing, should influence something else instantaneously across space. Even light, the fastest thing in the universe, had a speed limit. Relativity had taught him that the universe takes causality seriously. So when quantum theory suggested that measuring one particle could instantly constrain the state of another particle far away, Einstein felt that something fundamental was being threatened, not just a theory, but the logical structure of reality itself. To Einstein, entanglement wasn't just strange, it felt unfinished. as if quantum mechanics was missing something. He believed that particles must carry hidden information, unseen variables that predetermined outcomes long before measurement. If those hidden variables existed, then nothing spooky was happening.